Yeah, all right.
Qonda uba ndabe ndiyifumane ingathi niyandidodza.
Laser, what stuff is that?
Ingathi niyandidodza mama.
Nifuna ilanga ne? This way.
Is
Okay.
everybody happy and ready? Lucanio, are you in? Are you ready? Just a moment. Lucanio, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right.
MMC, just tell us about today's event. Obviously, the residents of the Boots have been waiting a very long time for this opportunity.
Well, I must say we've met the residents or the beneficiaries and indicated to them that we do apologize because the project has taken long, primarily because we didn't have contractors that were capable. So we had to get a new contractor, which is BOON Africa, to come and assist us. So we are moving at speed now. We have given our officials tight time frames to make sure that this delivery of these 570 units are delivered on time.
Sure, and obviously today there's 23 houses that have been given to the beneficiaries, and there's more that's outstanding. So is there a time period for the rest of the houses?
Yes, there is a time period. We're getting 2 additional big contractors on site. This site, which is 8448, and also on the Mau Mau site, which is an adjacent site to this particular one. So we're getting more contractors to expedite. We have given our officials a deadline of December, and I want to see all those units finished by that time.
Sure, the city of Cape Town currently has a backlog of 350,000 applications with a 14% of dwellers. So just tell us about that. How is the city planning to ensure that, I don't know when, but most people have houses in the city?
Look, we build based on grant funding, and we only get a certain amount of grant funding. And I'll make an example. We used to get about 611 million, which is USDG, and now it has been cut throughout the period of COVID, and our money was reprioritized. So now we just get over 295 million rands. What does that translate to? We used to build more than 4,800 houses per financial year. Now that means we can only build just over 2,000 because our budget of HSDG has been halved by national government. So we can't build beyond that. Hence, we have now embarked on the land release program, where we're going to make sure now that private entities, they come on board, they assist us to roll out and be able to manage the backlog that we have. It's a high backlog, but we're working on it, and we'll try our level best. There's a good injection from and a good appetite from our private partners and social housing institutions. So we're working tirelessly to make sure that we deal with the backlog that is confronting us.
All right. We understand that this project started around 8 years ago, and there's been legal battles in which the city has also lost. Is the city to perhaps blame for the delays here?
Well, we take responsibility for any form of delay on our part. Hence, I've indicated that the contractors that we had procured at the time, they didn't have the capability to deliver at pace. So we had to go out again, get a contractor who can deliver at pace. Hence, we're getting 2 more contractors to make sure that we expedite the delivery of all these units. And we have made an apology to the beneficiaries for the delays that have happened, but we will continue to make sure that each and every month we deliver more and more units.
And not for the first time, Mr. Boy, you've had issues with contractors. Not far from here, Mau Mau, there were similar issues. Why are these issues persisting?
Look, what you must remember, I don't get involved in the procurement process. I get the final product, which is a contractor on site. But based on the research or the presentation that has been done, some contractors, they present good high gradings in terms of CIDB. But when it's time to get onto site, to build the units, then they start having financial challenges. You know, we're the only city in the country who pay contractors within 30 days. Now, it can be that now when we pay people on time, and also they can't deliver on their side. So hence we had to do cancellations also in Mau Mau. We had to do cancellations. So in this particular precinct, up to Mau Mau, we'll have 3 contractors by end of September to expedite the delivery.
How much has the stop and start costing the city for this project?
Well, it has costed us a bit of much, but we had to negotiate with the current contractor, which is BOON Africa, to make allowance of the standing time, and of which they have come on board. They've managed to get those fees down, not to charge as much, but it's something that we have learned from, and we won't be having it going forward.
Is there an overall figure for how much this costs?
Well, the total figure of the project is about 120 million. But because of the negotiations on issues of penalty, because remember, the penalty it's on our side or it's on the contractor's side. We have negotiated with the contractor not to have much of those so that we can be in a position, because the biggest delay was on our side. So we have negotiated with them, and they've been lenient to us around those. So the cost is not that high.
And the previous contractor, what happens to them? Do they get blacklisted, saying that they presented that they'll be able to do the job and failed to do so?
Well, within the city, they will not be able to do any further work because they've created this challenge for us. So we will not be able to utilize them in the future. We have a list of all those contractors that have not been able to deliver. So they won't be getting any work from us going forward.
The city is plagued by problems when it comes to housing delivery. We know that land invasions is a big issue. You've mentioned shack farming in the past. What's the situation like now? We're out of COVID.
We're out of COVID. We're out of COVID now, and what has been the challenge were the regulations of the Disaster Management Act, which prohibited us from doing any form of evictions on those land invasions. Now that is off, we're finalizing a contract with the security companies, which have tactical response, and will be able to make sure that there is no further invasions happening. We have surveillance that is taking place with law enforcement as we speak. We have drones that are going around the city to make sure that there are no further invasions, because they have costed us a lot of money. For example, what has happened in Driftsands and other areas around Khayelitsha, now we need more than 300 million to make sure that we get services to those areas. And this budget that was not in place, so we have asked Minister Kubai to assist us in making sure that we get services in those areas, and the cost is 300 million plus.
Are you evicting them from those areas?
Well, there are areas in which we won't be able to evict anybody. There are areas where we need to do some evictions, purely because some of the areas, for instance, in the Mahama project in Khayelitsha, we're supposed to build houses there. So there are beneficiaries who are waiting, and people have occupied their sites. So we'll do such evictions, but in some areas we won't be able to do those evictions because it won't make sense. For example, in Driftsands, there are more than 9,000 households there. So there's no way we can move and relocate all those people. But what we do, we try and move them out of the wetlands.
And does that mean the land is lost there?
Well, that is the case. Without beating around the bush, that is the case, and in many of the invaded sites, we've lost those land parcels. I mean, Khayelitsha alone has lost more than 15,000 housing opportunities because of invasions. So, and those people who have lost those opportunities, it's going to take us a while to find a place for them to get their houses. Now, it means that they're going to wait longer. So these are the issues, the consequences of invasion.